So, hello, hello. Welcome to Heart to
Oh,
Heart. How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right. I should be super excited for the next expansion, but when you're a professional, it's you have all this stress for the next expansion. So I'm like finishing up my taxes and just getting everything ready and on YouTube. So I can hardly even like I don't it's hard for even me to be like thinking about tomorrow because I'm just like trying to get stay on top of everything kind of thing. So yeah.
I must say, I
So
am very, very excited for tomorrow. It's gonna be it's a new year, a new era. It's like tonight is like the new year. You know when you're like New Year's Eve, you want to celebrate for tomorrow. I kind of feel tomorrow is like January 1st.
yeah, I think a lot of pros have said like expansion day is kind of like Christmas as a kid, opening up all the presents and stuff. So yeah.
Definitely, definitely. So yes, so how much are you excited for the next suspension, and what are you looking forward to see and play?
Yeah, so I'm probably I was like low on the excitement because I don't get excited until things are actually happening, and then it's just kind of my personality where I think people are thinking like, oh, aren't you excited for this thing 2 weeks, and I'm just but I probably the excitement gets more and more the closer I get. So I probably like 7 out of 10 excitement, and then I don't know. I'm hoping I can do find some cool colossal. I think I played some paladin. That was probably the most, and the Naga Siren stuff with the APM. It's pretty APM heavy, but it's really fun. So looking forward to playing some of that stuff. And I think also I like bottom feeder as a card because I kind of like those kind of cards that are like I like long mid range pressure. So I think that card I'm pretty excited about too. So
Yeah, no, definitely. I was really impressed with Colossal, and I was in theory crafting too. And for me, I really like the way that you could see it in action because like to
mhm.
read it, it's something, but to see that
Yeah,
you can get a
it's a
dirty
cool
rat
mechanic. Yeah,
and
dirty red and yeah.
dirty rat, and the Colossal brings his buddy with him.
It's, you can also like faceless manipulator it, and then it brings the buddy with it as well.
No! Oh my god, I need to
Yep.
try that. I need to try that. But it's
So,
not in the evolve and devolve pool.
oh, I mean the appendages or the colossal to be at
The
all.
Colossal.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that. Okay.
I've learned that yesterday.
Yeah. Mechanics in Hearthstone are like you just have to learn them. I think everybody means like, child will be like, oh, of course this, but they don't seem consistent. It's kind of like a legal pad of you have to like, okay, this is the rule here, this is the rule here, and you just have to sort of accept that they sometimes don't seem to make sense.
Which Colossal you think is gonna be the most played?
Um, I didn't get the chance to play the mage one. Everyone's playing that one, but I really think the paladin one's strong. And then I'm not sure about Krakatoa. And I think the warlock one's busted. So the warlock one might be the most played one. Yeah. How about yourself?
The Warlock one is my favorite. Like Giga Finn for me is like it's like my boyfriend for the next few months. I always get a card like Mankrik is my husband, but there's always a boyfriend coming in. So Giga
Your
Finn is
your
my
boyfriend's got an appetite.
quite an appetite.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So Giga Finn for me it was like love at first sight. I saw it and I'm like I'm gonna love this card for sure. So yes, for me it's Gigafin for sure. But I think there's a lot of potential in the Hunter one. I really like the Hunter one.
which the hunter one I'm not so the hunter one is I think is really good. It's I've been cynical on like mid-range hunter value like for because it just they never seem to work like the hunter isn't designed in that way that can have that like mid-range pressure anymore, but that card is really good, so I could see it as a top end. It'll be interesting if it makes the cut. So yeah.
Yeah, no, no, 100%. But I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see it because I feel that this card is super OP. So, but it depends on how the meta is gonna evolve, and then the next
Yeah.
few days, it's gonna
Yeah.
probably like it's gonna map the rest of our months.
Yeah. It's
So, which deck are you most excited to be out?
to lose. That's an interesting one. Let me go on the HS replay and cheat real so quick and see. Okay, who I hate historically. What have I hated? Well, obviously, Meta Tyrant Ping Mage. Oh, is that sticking around? Oh, that's sticking around. All right, that's unfortunate. Because that's been wrecking me for a while. But other than that, what do I really hate? I'm trying to think of what I really hate. Um, hmm. No, I don't hate some of the decks that everybody else hates. Like I know, like people hate Mizaki Mage playing against it. I don't really hate Mizaki Mage. I'm trying to think of like, what am I gonna be so glad that's gone? I'm trying to think even. Hmm. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. What pisses me off the most? Um, it's interesting. This isn't a deck now, but I hate Blackjack Stunner. That's a card that's so like the Secret Rogue, where they
Yes.
just take, so that card, even though it doesn't even see play, I just hate when especially when it was at reduced to 2, which I think it is now. It's still not seeing play. It's crazy that card is so good in my opinion, yet there's so many cards that do similar things well. So, but I just hate, I like clunky minions, and I get annoyed when my clunky minions get back in my hand. So maybe Secret Rogue, even though it's not seeing play in the current meta. I'm trying to think of what else like really
It's
really
so
gets,
funny
yeah.
that you say Secret Row because I think that one of my favorite deck from last summer is Secret Row.
Oh, okay, yeah. So odds here, So yeah, I mean, I like the secrets element of it. I don't. It's just the Blackjack Stunner that gets me angry, So yeah,
Okay, I understand. I understand. Definitely.
yeah.
And which deck did you like currently do you prefer?
I haven't. I currently, so I haven't been playing Ramp Druid as much. That I really like Ramp Druid before Kazakhstan. So I'm gonna give you, that's kind of like my favorite from the expansion. When Bana Lieutenant was run, because it was kind of this slow value push, because it would ramp up but it wouldn't win games quickly. You had to find a way. Sometimes you like resizing pouch, hit Yashirajas. You had to be patient. You had to know like when to just go in and when not, and it was really really fun. But I feel like Kazakhstan kind of ruined it for me, because it's just like you play your Kazakhstan and then you crush them with the treasures. So, but that's probably been my most fun of the expansion. I played so much Ramp Druid. And then I've also liked the shaman, all the free shaman archetypes of like Bolner OTK and Burn Shaman. Those I've really liked as well, this expansion.
Me, and I know it's not rotating, but Burn Shaman for me is like a love-hate relationship because oh my god, the Snowfall Guardian, I'm like, please, please, stop it. Stop. Oh my god, it's like this morning I someone did it like probably 4 times to me and I'm like, no, not again. Not again.
4 times. Yeah, hey, I get mad when like they haven't even drawn any cards. Like they didn't hit the 3-drop, whatever this. So I'm like, oh, okay, they probably have one, maybe two, and then there's a third one. They've already won, so I've already kind of like, well, I guess I stay in case they have nothing, and then comes the fourth one. And it's like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. So, but yeah.
And what do you think about Snowfall Guardian?
I actually like it. I think it's really fun. But I'm one of those like I defend all the toxic things that everyone hates in Hearthstone. I just think there's always has to be like the card that takes the fall. because people can't handle losing. So it can't be like, oh, losing sucks, but it's just reality. But it has to be like, you have to have this like this fallback to take the hate. So right now it's like Snowfall Guardian, but Trog seems to be the big hated card these days. But I'm mostly pro Trog. I could see myself changing on that. But Trog is very hated. Kazakhstan is very hated. I don't like Kazakhstan as much. I'm super pro Guff. Guff is hated. It seems like these days, but I think Guff is the best thing of this expansion. And it's just really not just keeping Hearthstone together, but the whole world together. Really, it's he's all about friends and stuff and being outside, which I think are just a great message.
Yes, so I have two sisters and one brother, and they all have name from cards in Hearthstone. So my brother is Guff. And my two little sisters, Tiny Finn and Alex Traza. So yes.
Okay, Tiny Finn. That's hey, you're tiny. That's your little sister. You said
my youngest one. Yes.
Okay.
She's the Murloc. She's the Murloc.
Okay. Yeah.
And the other one is a dragon. We're trying to like. So we all have our different. But every time someone say Guff, I'm like, my brother.
Yep. Yeah. And then he goes to the gym. He's like, "Oh, Guff's going to get buff," So.
Oh my god. Okay, which deck tomorrow you're gonna start with?
I don't know. It's I might go the Naga Mage. The Naga Mage looks really fun. That's a good one. And I might do something with the bottom feeders. Try that style out. What I don't like about doing the bottom feeders is it's not a new archetype. It's kind of like the Beast Druid. So I might want to do something more completely new. I think Naga could be good. I do like the control Mechadin, but I'm wondering if day one is like, usually you don't want to play a control deck on day one. So, but it does like. So the way it kind of works is you get the graces down to 0, and then you play like a mech, and then you faceless it. But with the grace, or use the Ini Stormcoil, I think it's called. So you might go like a 2-mana 1/2 Divine Shield, give it +5/+5, and then do the Ini, and then rush that in, and it's like a huge tempo swing. So that might be the deck I play. So we'll see. If it's usually I play things for the first 2 hours, I lose a bunch, and then I find something, and then I get #1 legend. That's happened like 3 different expansions. So it's usually that's what happens. So
the deck I'm most excited about is Murloc. So Warlock, Murloc.
Murloc. Okay. Are you doing a more like value heavy or just like pure Murlocs?
Pure Murlocs.
Pure Murlocs. Okay. I was trying to make that work, and I made this, and when it hits, it hits. But I was fine. I'm not convinced it's going to work. Because it just because my rule is like, I guess, are you going to be playing it in wild or standard?
Both.
Both. Okay. Because like
I'm trying
I find
it on both. I had success in wild. I must say I had success in wild with it when I did interior crafting. But standard, I mean, I want to make it work because I had so much fun with it, and I think for the viewers it was very entertaining. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You don't want to alienate your husband by not, playing him, right? So,
exactly. Well, my boyfriend. Husband is main crick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha. I can't keep track of all your relationships, yeah, so.
Yes. Well, there's always the flavor of the season. There's always. So I'm very excited for Gigafin to make his entrance tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't actually play him in my Murloc Warlock because I was trying to play more aggro style, but every time somebody played it against me in the theory craft, it was like, oh god, this is so annoying because that 4/7 taunt, and like, how do you kill that 7/4? It's rough, it's rough out there.
Well, I think it was the only card that was big in my deck Like every time, like it was like kind of like a Joker that I had in my deck, and like
Yeah.
you pull it off, and the 2 times I've played it, I won the game. So
Yeah, it's if you're playing against a board tempo deck, like board tempo is like more minion based, less like spells and removal. It just wins. Like they don't have a way to deal with that 7/4 because the taunts in the way. So and they lose all the board. It just wins the game. So
yeah, I felt
Yeah.
it was a bit like elemental shaman, like just lots of little minions. You just like spam it on the board, but you do have like a wild card to like help if everything goes wrong.
yeah, possibly. Yeah, that could work.
So I'm excited to try it. I'm not saying I don't think it's gonna be the best deck, but I'm excited.
No one really knows. So everybody, it's a thing I've realized, like, because everybody wants to argue over, oh, I think this is going to be the best. Well, no, I actually think it's this, and we're all going to be wrong except like one person, and then they're going to be like, oh, I predicted this, but we're all within 24 hours you find out, oh, this is actually OP, and the deck that I thought I was going to crush with was good for like 5 minutes, and then now I'm losing. So that's what always happens, like every expansion. So it's fun, but nobody really knows, So having an open mind is good.
Yeah, I still can't believe it's tomorrow. Like we talk about like it's so far away, but it's tomorrow.
Far away, distant future, we'll finally get to, who knows? Yeah. So.
Were you able to play a bit of like the unnerved cards in the last few days? Like
Yes.
which one did you think was a really good thing they nerfed it because it's so OP?
I don't know. I'm glad Crab Rider's back. I was mad when Crab Rider got nerfed. I was very pro Crab Rider. What am I kind of the Scavenger's Ingenuity is stupidly good.
I know.
The +3/+3. It's well, I say when Face Hunter is the best deck in the game, it's bad. I know one of my most hated decks has been Highlander Hunter historically, because it's
My
just
favorite deck ever. We are nemesis. We are.
Just like Dreadeye, who's in my stream a lot, got his GM with it, but I actually got my GM with it, bringing it too. So I played it, but it's the ultimate. You just play on curve, you spend your mana. It's the ultimate. Just like there's no, it's so easy. It's like, and then you play Brand and you win the game. And
that's true. But it's so satisfying to play Brand. You play it and your opponent is like bottom right.
It's not satisfying when I'm on the other side, so which is most of the time. So I think it was after Enrage Warrior got nerfed, and I think Demon Hunter got nerfed. In Ashes of Outland, there was a period where Highlander Hunter was the best in the game, and that's like what really solidified my hate of Highlander Hunter. Because before it was like okay, but it wasn't the best, and then it became the best, and then I hated it. So yeah.
The best period for me in Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Which got me into streaming, actually. That's Highlander Hunter got me to stream.
It's weird. Highlander Hunter is, like I said, I wouldn't be in GM if it wasn't for Highlander Hunter. So I mean, obviously GM's endings, but that was the kind of what launched me to go pro. So it's I guess Highlander Hunter has had an influence on both our lives, but I'm not as grateful, So if that makes sense.
For sure. So, like, talking about influence of Hearthstone in your life, like, what made you start playing Hearthstone? Were you playing in beta? Tell us a bit about your Hearthstone journey.
Yeah, so I started late, and for those who don't know, I've had so people kind of know with the name, but I've had chronic pain issues since I was 19. It started with my left foot. And then I had bilateral nerve pain in my hands, and then I had back pain. And it was a thing of, it's gone up and down. And in 2016, my hand pain was some of the worst it's ever been. And it was a thing of like, because I kind of developed this chronic pain stuff. And so I would go, I did stand-up comedy for like 2 years out of college, where I was kind of going to this, and then I played poker semi-professionally, where I'd go and I would go to the casino, so I wouldn't have to shuffle, and I was able to just like look at the cards. And I was able to do that, but my hand pain got so bad in 2016 that there was very like I would be at like a bar, and people would like rub up against my arms, and it was like painful. So I needed just something to do at home, and there weren't many video game. Like my brother's like, oh, you could play, a video game, and I started playing Path of Exile, but that was like very limited. I played like a Righteous Fire build where I could just run around, and things would die around me. But then I discovered Hearthstone, and I was like, oh, I can actually, play this game completely. And then I kind of got like sucked into it, and just got more and more into it. So it was kind of like it was a thing I could do when I was in pain. It's nice to have like you play a game, it kind of takes you out of your pain, So, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. And so that made you start playing Hearthstone because it was a
hmm
game you could use different. You don't need to use your mouse, for example.
Yeah, the hands free, and I wasn't disadvantaged. If I go play a shooter, I'm gonna get crushed. And I was playing board games online before, so I'd go on this like website called like Board Game Arena, and I would play like games like Stone Age and Through the Ages, and Puerto Rico online, and I was like really good at them. But it was a thing of like it didn't really matter, and then all of a sudden like Hearthstone, it has that feeling of stakes, especially when I started. The competitive scene's kind of getting smaller, but it had like the stakes of, oh, if you're a great player, you can go compete and be recognized, even make some money. That's really exciting. Go and be the best. Try to be the best at something that people actually care about and people are very invested about. So that's kind of what got me into it.
100%. And so that was at the beginning of Hearthstone? Beginning?
Well, this was like 3 years in, so it was Frozen Throne when I started. So that was like 2 or 3 years into the game. So I started
Okay.
late.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while now, but at the time, it felt like I was very behind everybody else.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And okay, so your brother was asking like you should play video games, and then well, you should try.
Because I was kind of like, oh, just want something to kill time, because I just had time, or well, I'm hurting, and what do I do? I can't, like, if I go out, I can't. I get bored of like watching TV, and I wanted to play a game, but like there's very few games I could play. And then back then I didn't use the foot pedal, so there's even more limited. So it was just completely movements in my head. And Hearthstone, I played it. I was like, oh, this is really, really easy to like. I can play this, hands free, and I don't have to, there's no, because I would also like when I played Path, I would even have voice commands where I'd say something like fire, and then it would cast some fire spell that I would program in. But that's really annoying because it's like takes a lot of energy to do. Where it's sometimes when you want to play a video game, you kind of want to just zone out and let like some lower part of your brain take over, and that's kind of Hearthstone worked with that, because I didn't have to think about like my physical actions. So
No, 100%. And okay, so you started playing Hearthstone, and then did you decide right away to stream? Did you wait a bit? Like, what's
I think
your
I
journey
think
through streaming?
I'd been playing for about so I started in like September of I think 2016, and then I think I first started streaming in like January of 2017 or December, and my attitude I think was like I played this game too much, and it's a video game, and if you're playing a video game like 15 to 20 hours a week, which now is like small because I'm playing professionally, but if you're playing a game 20 hours a week, I was like, well, I can write this off as like productive time if I'm streaming, because now I'm working on my stream, I'm providing entertainment, where if I'm just playing a video game by myself, I'm like, what am I doing with my life, So, but it's like, oh no, now I can now I'm being productive. So it's kind of a way to justify playing more in a way. So
And so, what was the turning point where you said like, okay, now it's like, was there like a specific time? Um,
uh, there's two things. One is I got laid off from my job in August of I think 20. This would be probably I think August of 2020. I think. Um, or August of 2019. I think August of 2019. Yeah, and I moved back to Chicago, and then I was looking for jobs. I was interviewing, and then COVID happened, and I also got into Grandmasters, and I was kind of like, I don't want to get like a regular full-time job during COVID because it was just like I was already just stuck at home, and it was like this idea of okay, I turn go online because I was working in a corporate insurance, working from home all the time, and then just working that just so I can go home and be home more, and that seemed like just really depressing. So I kind of took I made Grandmasters, and that gave me the sort of the financial like okay, now I can take a shot, try to go pro, see how it goes. I started up the YouTube channel that year, and then the Hearthstone, and then also just doing the Grandmasters and the normal Masters Tour stuff, and took a shot, and that's kind of where I am now. Well, it's going well, but it's still the future is always uncertain of how long this will go, if this will keep going. I hope it keeps going. I think it's going well, but you never know. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Yeah.
yeah. And okay, so for the streaming, you started later than playing the game, and so and I guess it was maybe easier for you, like since you got laid off, so it was like an option compared to. But how did your entourage took it, like your family, your friends, when you said, look, I'm gonna like play game for a living?
Yeah, I mean, my family has learned I'm a force of nature that can't be negotiated with. So they're just kind of it's my parents. I'm older now, like so it's the I was trying to do stand-up comedy when I was like in my early 20s, and like poker, and then I did insurance. So they're like, oh, this is. I think when they also saw like because I'd already won HCT Philadelphia when I went pro, because so I'd already made a big payday, which was like a $5,000 first prize. So it was cool, So it's a thing of, I think it's cool. I do remember. I think this is when I first started, and it was like over Christmas, and I was playing Hearthstone, and it was I was visiting. I was living in Connecticut still, but we were in Chicago, and I brought my laptop, and I would play some Hearthstone games while kind of like there's downtime, and my dad at some point was like, oh, I feel like I don't really like how much video games you're playing. And I basically was like, yeah, I have a job. I'm a grown man. You don't get to tell me what to do. You don't get to tell me to not play video games. And he's like, all right, fair. So it's kind of a thing of like, I'm working really hard. So it's a thing of, what are they going to do? It's like, I hope, I think they are proud now. Like they're seeing the success. But it's I think my brothers both work in the internet business, so they're kind of like, oh, they know it's cool and it's difficult, but my parents are pretty like kind of like anti-video game kind of growing up, and they've kind of accepted like all me and my brothers play video games, and all of my we're all internet people, so it's kind of they just accepted this this is what their kids are, so it's what are they gonna do, so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super interesting that you say that, because I think it's gonna be impossible, like going forward with like the place that video game takes in the lives of people now, to be completely like, now the parents like will need to be a bit more flexible with like it's a very different era for video games, because I get people like parents ask me all the time, what do you think my child spent that much time playing with? I'm like, well, it's fine, and if he
Yeah.
wants to do something with it.
Yeah, I think there's like a certain amount where you have to like go for higher needs. So like if you're playing like if 10 hours of video games like a week or like 15, it's not that like it's if you're playing like maybe an hour or two a day to unwind, it's not a big. But if you start playing a lot, you have to like start competing or making content or something to kind of like fulfill that higher need. Because if you're just playing, I personally think if you're playing like 6 to 8 hours of video games a day and you're not competing or you're not making content, I think it's going to lack something, so I think it's good to like, if you're 19 or 20, and you're kind of, playing the video games a lot, write an article about your game or write, something about a strategy or why this, or, make a YouTube video. I think that's a good use. And then, if you're like, eventually, if you're, let's say you're interviewing for a job 6 years later and you could show writing examples of your video game blog or something like that, where that's a lot more tangible for your future than just kind of, I got really good at this game, um, so yeah.
No, definitely, I agree with you. Like, unless you're like super good, and then when you're young, you're already competing, so that would be a proof of doing something with it. But I mean, for most people, that's not the case. Okay, good. So you mentioned a bit about poker, and I'm kind of intrigued about how did you get into poker? A lot of like Hearthstone player are poker player for some reason. So
you a poker player as well? Is that right?
What?
Or did I hear you were a poker player? Or did I hear incorrectly?
No. I know about poker, but I wouldn't consider myself a poker player.
All right. But yeah, I got into it because
strip poker, yes.
It sounded like easy money. Strip poker.
That's chat is saying that, but no, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. So yeah, I played poker a lot between like when I was like out of college, because I didn't know what I was gonna like how to make money, and like because I couldn't use my hands, and but I could use my hands enough to like look at the cards and move the chips. And I needed, I was needing something to make money. I still live with my parents, but like I still, it's hard to have zero money. And so I started playing poker, and people are terrible at poker. And I'm like, now that I could say like I'm one of the top players, Hearthstone players in the world, I could say like I wasn't as good at poker, but I'm good at games. Like I can go and I can if you could just be get the basic game theory of poker, and then be somewhat emotionally disciplined, like you know how to like control your emotions and have logical. So you lose a big hand and your emotions will go crazy. You lose like $500, and you have to have that strength of will to be like, no, this is the reality, to keep your cool. And if you can do that, you can make so much money in life, but just like live poker, because that's something realistically nobody does, because everybody's very emotional, and they don't want to play. They want to play every hand, and they're bad at the game. So it's a thing of you can make just with that, So it was a nice way to make money. But I tried to go pro poker, and I said I gave myself 1 week. I was like, okay, I'm gonna play a full 40-hour work week of like I'm going to go it. And I hated it. Like I was like, this sucks. This is such a grind. So I like poker kind of in like that moderation between the 10 and 15 hour amount. But if you try and play it like the 20+ hours, it's draining. It just gets too repetitive. So and too much just waiting around. Yeah.
So how long did you do that for?
I played poker about 2 years, and then I got my I had gone to like a disability counselor, and I discovered some of the hands-free technology that I use to control my computer, and then I got a full-time job, sort of being a data analyst in insurance. I got an internship, and then I got transited to a full-time job through that. But back then I was completely hands-free, and I would control like Microsoft Excel. Just all with my stuff. So if I'm like going Microsoft Excel, I might do something like equal sign, open parentheses, B4, minus sign, C4, close parentheses, press enter. Go to cell D20. You know, like I would just do all that, and I would control my Excel, and I was still, you know, way slower than I was back when before I could type. Back when I could type, but you know, I worked with lots of boomers, so I could, you know, still APM them despite the fact because boomers are terrible with computers. It's ridiculous, like how bad they are at computers. I don't know how, but yeah. So they didn't learn the language that I grew up with. So yeah, so
Okay, good. Good, good. And so now do you play a bit of poker on leisure, on vacation, just for fun?
I don't because there's no casino near me. But like I haven't been able to, like I stopped. I part of the reason I started playing Hearthstone and my hands were doing so bad that I was even having trouble moving the chips. But my hands are doing a lot better now. So and they just opened a poker room at a casino about like 30 minutes away from where I live. But like it's so popular right now that you can't even get. It's like a 6 hour wait for a table. But I kind of want to get back into it because it's a nice way to something else to do, and I think I can make some easy money. Just because like Hearthstone, I have to think like really hard all the time. It's like it's a lot of to play Hearthstone. Well, there's a lot more thinking than people give credit. It's a lot of calculation. It's a lot of focus. Where poker, you're just chilling most of the time, and then you have like one hand where you have to like, okay, I have to focus for a little bit. But like a lot of poker is just chilling. So if you're kind of beat, you know, that can actually be a good thing because if you're kind of on edge, you may be like, oh, I want to play this hand, even though you should fold it. But if you're chilling, you'd be like, oh, I'll throw this away, you know? So just being chill is kind of a good trait to have when you're playing poker, so.
100%. So, okay, now I'm interested in knowing what a day in your life looks like.
Oh, a day in my life. Yeah, I can give you the rundown. So, I wake up at noon or 12:30. Unless I have a coaching student, then I wake up at 11:30 because I usually do a student at noon. And then if I do that, I might get some YouTube content ready. Then I go to the gym. And then so I gym and you know shower, all that stuff. And then I usually eat some food, and then I start up the stream, and I stream until I go to bed, unless I have something that I'm going to do that night, and then I end the stream early and I go to that thing I'm going to do that night. So that was for a while. I had nothing to do for like a year and a half because everything was closed, but I'm starting to have a life outside of the stream again, which is nice. But yeah, it was for a while. It's just like, well, so I would just stream till 3 in the morning every night. But yeah, so that's kind of the day in the life right there.
And what are the things you do at night?
Oh, that's the sex cult, as I've told my chat. So yeah, now chat doesn't know if I'm actually a part of a sex cult or not, but it's you know, I think Fury Hunter said at first he thought it was a joke, but he's seen me go out so many times that he's starting to think it's real. So I don't know. Am I part of a sex cult? Is it something else? What does nohandsgamer do with his nights? It's kind of a mystery, you know. So it's nobody really knows. So
Okay, so it's a secret. It's gonna stay a secret.
Yeah, I've thought about, I don't know, like some people know what's going on, but maybe eventually the secrets will get out. But I kind of want to keep it a secret. Or if I told you it actually is a sex cult, then it would ruin the secret. So I have to keep the ambiguity of maybe it is, maybe it's not. So yeah.
Okay. Now I'm thinking about night activities, so that's why, because you're like with my night activities, I'm like, which kind of night activities? Go to the cinema, eat ice cream.
Just go eat ice cream for 4 hours. You know, so yeah, that's it. You figured it out. So. But yeah, it's something you can do. I'm doing this thing, so maybe chat will figure out. Hopefully, someone who doesn't have inside information. But yeah, something you can do for 10 hours, and you know you have to decide if do I look hungover the next day, or do I look not hungover because maybe I'm going out drinking.
You do it
maybe
for
I'm
10
not
hours.
drinking.
10 hours your night activities? Do you
Not
ever
in one night, and about it like 1 week. Well, yeah. So yeah.
like you don't sleep then? You don't sleep.
So yeah, I have a Wednesday night thing, a Thursday night thing, and a Sunday night thing.
It's like
So
knitting, probably.
maybe it's knitting, So it's a secret. Maybe it's something cool like knitting, and I just don't want chat to think I'm that cool because they'll be intimidated, and I want to be relatable, So yeah,
It's
so
okay. I will keep your privacy private.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned going out, hangovers. Do you drink? Do you drink?
Oh yeah, I drink some. I don't usually drink when I go out. So when I'm going to the sex cult, other people are drinking at the sex cult, but I'm usually not drinking. So only occasionally. So
You prefer sober.
yeah. I
More
even
feelings.
yeah.
More in tune with your feelings and sensations.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's yeah. I don't and I don't want to have performance issues. So it's
You have performance issues.
yeah. So that's why. What's funny is I know what the actual sex cult thing is, and this isn't that far off of the truth. So that's why it's funny. So we're kind of joking, but it's kind of true. So maybe the truth will come out and everyone will. But I want to keep the inside joke going. So bowling league, maybe that's a good guess, Mike. Yeah, bowling league. So.
Oh my god. Okay, so I hope everything. Yeah, no hand knitting. That must be crazy.
It would be hard for me to do knitting because I do have the hand problem. So I would have to be doing like a foot, like a knitting with my feet or something like that. But yeah, that's so. I think the reason knitting is a bad guess is because of the hand problem, not that it couldn't be knitting. So. Yeah, have to maybe like underwater basket weaving because like the water makes it not as painful kind of thing, So yeah.
Okay, good. Well, that's was the joke was like knitting, like because no ends knitting. That was kind of like the joke. But
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, well, I absolutely didn't think about we would discuss sex cult in this interview tonight. It caught me off guard. I must say, it caught me off guard.
Yeah. We talk about the sex cult every day on my channel, so it's you're not the first one to hear about it. So
I hope so. Okay, so you didn't mention coffee. Do you drink coffee?
Oh yes, yeah.
In
I
the
have a problem.
in like a day in your life, like you need to be specific. Food.
Yeah,
Like,
because yeah. So I make my own iced coffee. So I have that in the fridge. So I have iced coffee, and I've been doing low carb diet for the last 6 months. So this is I eat a lot of Chipotle, but with no rice. And then I eat a lot of sausages, but with no buns. So just like straight sausages. So I'll cook those, and it's kind of a thing of chat. Though I was like, oh, it's the time for sausage time. So yeah, that's kind of you drink do you drink a lot of coffee?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I took a 3-day period off like 2 weeks ago, and it was really hard, but then when you're back, I was so productive. The next day I did coffee, I got like so much work done. It was it was fantastic. So it's a thing of I need to do more like 3 days off, but it's only so I can enjoy it more after I come back, so yeah.
When I did a 7-day off coffee in March, and
Yeah.
when I took my first coffee after 7 days, I felt I was back on my ADHD meds.
Yeah. So I had a prescription for ADHD, like the smallest prescription, from my doctor for like 2-3 years. And I'm not doing it anymore. But I remember that for the first time, I did it. It was insane. Where it was like I mean, it was just it was drugs. It was. And then after a while, you develop. But yeah, it was so powerful. It was ridiculous. So I don't know. Yeah, if you've been on that stuff before, yeah.
Yes, younger I did.
Yeah.
It's like having superpowers.
Yeah, I like being on it. It's the crash that I sometimes I'm on it. I'm so productive at work, and then I lose my personality afterwards. So I'm just very blah and just very like yes. I don't I lose that edge, and I really like that edge of myself, of that kind of explosiveness. It's something I like about myself. So that's kind of why I stopped taking it, because I would lose the sort of explosive edge of my person. Yeah. So
So yeah, on it you wouldn't talk about your sex cult, so like it was kind of like a problem.
yeah, I would just say, oh, I'm just going to knitting club chat. So
Okay, so now that we know that you drink coffee and tea, because you had some tea right now, I think, right?
mm-hmm.
You drink both.
Yeah, this is just chamomile, so it's so I like drinking things, but I don't always want to be caffeinated. So it's a way I can drink without caffeinating myself. Yeah. So
For sure, for sure. And so you mentioned you're on a low carb diet. Why?
I gained weight during COVID because it was depressing, and I stopped going to the gym because they closed, and I would get ice cream, and then I just gained a bunch of weight. So I was like, all right. So I did a low carb diet and lost a bunch of weight. Nice. So yeah, and but I didn't want to do it for a while because I was like, oh, this is gonna mess up with my Hearthstone, which it might have, because I feel like I was better at the game when I weighed more. So it's a thing of I'm not sure, like it's but yeah, just trying to be healthy. So yeah.
So are you
Kind
back
of
into
thing.
your workout routine?
Yeah, so I moved beginning of last year to a new building, and I intentionally moved to a building with a gym in it because it's hard to keep the habits going. So now I could just go downstairs to the gym. Well, it's like a gym in the building. It's a separate gym. It's like but still have to get a membership, but it helps get, keep those habits. And if you have to go in traffic to a gym and back, that makes it so much bigger of a step for your brain. So I try to go to the gym every day, but some days I'll go to the gym and I literally will just sit in the steam room and I don't work out. But I went to the gym, so I did my hard work for the day. So it's but then you get the habit. So a lot of then you have the habit, so it works out.
100%, I agree with you. It's just good sometimes to even change environment, like from your
Yeah.
house, other than being outside.
Yeah, I think as a gamer, it can be really convincing just to stay inside all the time, and it's good, go outside, bring your phone, play Hearthstone in the park or something like that. I can't really do that, but it's good. I think Lawful Dog, I know he goes to the he's a personal trainer I met on the circuit. He goes and lifts weights, and then he plays his Hearthstone during his rest sets. So he's got a good system there.
Definitely, definitely. Now that I tasted Deck Tracker, though, it's hard for me to go back on mobile.
Yeah. It can be a good memory test, but yeah, it's the deck tracker is nice.
Definitely. Okay, so now we're gonna get to the food part of the interview. So I'm gonna tell you some categories or some food, and you can tell me if you like it, if you don't like it, and I usually ask for a top three. So I'm gonna start with a very easy one. So are you
Okay.
more of a fruit or vegetable guy? If it's both, it's both. Just give me a.
I think I like fruits better, but I eat more vegetables because
Low carb
right
diet.
now, but yeah. But I probably make an I eat I eat bananas still. That's kind of something I added about after. I didn't do eat bananas for like 3 months, but I do like bananas. So yeah, I usually don't actually eat. I eat them in protein shakes, so they're quite tasty. So yeah.
Good. And in
So
vegetables,
yeah, vegetables I eat more, but I like the fruits more. If that's the answer. So
okay, but top three vegetables.
top three vegetables: spinach, broccoli. I don't know, sir.
Cucumber.
Oh, I hate cucumbers. No, they're terrible. Do you like cucumbers?
I love cucumbers.
Yeah. It's funny. So in college, there's this guy, and he'd eat a really healthy diet because his poor sister died of cancer. So he'd eat all these greens. I thought he was really cool. So I remember he would eat a bowl of raw cucumbers, a bowl of raw broccoli, and a bowl of raw spinach. And so I got a bowl of raw broccoli so I could hang out with him and eat with him. He was like 3 years older than me, but I hated the cucumbers. The broccoli kind of gave me a weird taste, but I like the spinach, so I ended up eating a good amount of spinach in my life. But yeah, the cucumbers, I hate cucumbers. I don't know. I don't know. How do you like them? I don't know. I don't get. They're all watery and like weird. I don't get it. You just eat a cucumber straight up, or you eating it on a salad? What?
I love it. Well, I wouldn't do it on stream, but yes, I would definitely eat a cucumber straight up like this.
I eat sausages on stream, so.
But you're a guy.
I mean, there's a small. Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't matter your sexuality. It's just the fact that you're a guy. It seems more normal, and when a girl does it doesn't work.
So.
Like,
I told my chat, like, this is normal, all right? It's normal for a man to eat a sausage on stream, you know? So it's it's a good point though. It's hard to, if you're a girl, people are gonna be like, oh, look at her, you know? So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, for my subathon, I did it for like a huge amount of a popsicle, and everyone was like, I want to see you eat a popsicle. I'm like, what?
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean,
which I bite into it.
that's gonna, for the people, really into that, thought they were really into that. That's gonna be a bit of a buzzkill, So.
Well, I mean, it depends how you eat it. There's no fine print of how you should eat a popsicle.
That's true. People eat popsicles in very different ways. Everybody's got their own thing. So.
Exactly. Sometimes it's with a knife and and a spoon.
Some people like looking at the bottom part, first and kind of going up, So yeah. Yeah.
So yes. But I'm just saying, like, it's very different for a guy and a girl. But
very true,
yes,
very true.
I try to be a bit careful any form. If I eat sausage, I would cut it in little pieces before eating it, just to make sure it doesn't get anyone. Anyways.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yes, okay.
This is like the sex cold, the sausage. These are things I normally talk on my stream. This isn't like. It's like, oh, let's bring up all this weird stuff for the Heart Queen, heart to heart. That's a good, So.
It's so funny because last week it was Dreads, and this chat was like, "Please don't be weird with Heart Queen. Please don't be."
So this is just me, I'm weird all the time. So it is what it is, It's like. I remember when I was in like 1st through 4th grade, and I was the weird kid. I remember I came back to 5th grade, and I was like told people like, I'm not weird anymore. I was like, I gave it up. I was cured. And then at a certain age of your life, you're just like, I'm weird. It is what it is. Like, you're okay. Like I could go and I could pretend to be like really normal on interview and just be very composed. And be like, yes. I just very respectable, but this is not really me, So.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, so savory or sweet, and are you a dessert guy?
It's weird. Yeah, probably sweet. Yeah, I do like desserts. I like cookies. Those are my favorite. So.
Must be hard on a low carbs diet.
Yeah, I've done. I celebrated my birthday a few days ago. My birthday was like 2 weeks ago, but So, but I had like I had a dessert then, and I had a dessert at Christmas, and that's the only time I've had dessert for the last 6 months. So, I'll be back eventually, but it's I had a lot of desserts during COVID, so I have to overcorrect. You don't have to feel bad for me. All right? Everybody's like, oh, it's just life. So, I ate all the desserts I wanted to store up. In case like there was there might have been, the global pandemic might have led to zombies. I thought that might be a case. So then I need to stay at home and I need to have that, extra reserve in case I couldn't go out for, a few months. So that's, but luckily that didn't happen. So
it's really funny that you say that because I do have a zombie apocalypse plan. So I do have
plan.
So I do have that plan out, and the first thing I do is I take my friend Liv that live next to me. So that's step number one. And
she's a zombie already. Like
no, she's not.
Oh, okay.
She's
assume
not.
That.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's part of the plan. And so her mom was like, "I'm really glad Heart Queen has that plan for you," and and she's bringing you. So that was nice. That her mom was happy we had a plan.
Okay, yeah.
In case the world was ending,
Failing the plan is planning to fail. You want to survive that zombie apocalypse, all right? So yeah, good for you. Yeah.
So yeah, I do have a plan. I do have a plan. But it's good. It's good that you're able. And happy birthday! Like since it was like 2 days ago.
2 weeks ago. So yeah, but yeah, I had dessert, so that's why it's relevant. Thank you.
But it's good that you're able to like stick to that for so long, like 3 months of like having 2 times dessert. That's pretty intense, especially when you like it.
Yeah, I'm a very part of the reason I've been successful in competitive Hearthstone is I'm a very disciplined person when I want something. So when I don't want something, I don't have any discipline. But once something is important to me, it's very easy. So where even with competitive Hearthstone and Grandmaster, I'm very good about like getting enough sleep the night before. I won't drink coffee immediately. I'll wait till an hour before my match to drink caffeine, so it's like I'm on that fresh caffeine hit. So I could just make myself practice and make myself play even when I don't feel like it. And that's very important, like, cause it's a thing of if you have and GM now it's over, but back when it was, you have one bad season, you're out. So you have to be good you can't have a terrible season, so you have to have that system of how do I perform well even when I don't feel like it. So I've kind of gotten good at that. I think also the chronic pain stuff made me a lot more disciplined because it's a thing of back when I had it really bad, I would lose discipline. I'd use my hands too much. My hands would be in a ton of pain, so I had to have this ability to say like control myself, because if I didn't, my pain levels would go really high. So I think that got me a lot of discipline as well. Cause so now like I get to eat food. It's honestly really easy after the first month. It's just it's only when you do social eating, which no one's been. I barely have been doing anything up until now with the sex cult, but like before that, it's like I don't see people, so it's easy not to social eat and eat too much. So
yeah, I did it for 3 months, and
okay.
So I got too skinny. So for me, it was like, I got to the other spectrum of the.
Yeah, it works. So it's very effective. So yeah, but it's so I'm still. I think I might want to lose like 10 more, and then I'm probably good. So yeah.
But the fun part is when you balance integrating carbs back. That was like my favorite part, to like still be in my no carb zone, but like integrating slowly carbs. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that right now. Like I said, I added bananas first, and then I'm adding in some nuts, which are still low carb. But I've been occasionally integrating a 1 in the morning burrito. So I'll get which has so that's a little bit of carbs. So just adding a little bit here and there.
Are you getting the egg wrap one? Like the wrap that's made with egg?
No, I'm just getting the regular one. That's
Okay,
me
okay.
integrating the carbs back in. So as I slowly, so I'm still mostly. I start for a while. I did like 3 months of like 20 carbs a day, and now I'm at like 60, 70 or something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, yeah. I totally understand. I did it. It's very effective. I can
Yeah.
if someone wants to lose weight, just do it. For me, it was like 1 pound a week when I did it. So like,
It's very effective. So, but
so
yeah,
yes.
it'll be nice to get the, rice is cheap too. So I like just the fact that I kind of miss rice, but I'll get rice back eventually. So.
Yeah, for me too, rice was a big thing. But baguette, I really really like baguette, being
Yeah.
French. So
Yeah. French Canadian, right? So.
I'm French Canadian, but if people say in chat always my French side of being Canadian.
So, yeah, do you live in like the Montreal?
Montreal.
I went to Montreal 2 times. This is actually before I went on a kind of a road trip with my friend, and we went through Montreal. It was very nice. We got crepes one day, so it was went on like a bar crawl on this. I bet you've been to this. If you go out to bars and stuff,
Yes.
you've been to the bar that's a skateboard park.
A skateboard park.
It's like it's got like a skateboarding thing in the bar. I don't know the name of it, but yeah, it's got like a little pool thing, like a little dip and there's skateboarders in the bar in the area.
Was it in the
So
summer?
yeah, it was in the summer.
Was it
So
open? Like, was there a roof, or it was open like a bar outside?
no, it's inside. The bar's inside. There's a little outdoor patio, but like it's the skateboarding park's indoors. So
Okay, so the one I was thinking is outdoor, only open in the summer. But yeah,
okay.
I need to look it up.
All right. I mean, it's the one bar I remember from Montreal that like I thought, so yeah, it's like there's a street where there's a whole bunch of bars and stuff. I think yeah, so it's on that street. I found some bar crawl. And me and my friend went on that we
On
found online, but
Crescent,
yeah.
maybe
What?
Crescent,
Maybe I don't. Yeah, I don't remember the
Saint
names. But yeah.
Catherine.
So
Yeah, no,
maybe.
but Montreal has a huge nightlife. It's one of the big place in North America for partying. So
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
so yes, I do love living here, and I really really appreciate living in Montreal. So that leads me to the question: would you live anywhere else than where you live now?
Kind of like to move to Latin America sometime. I speak Spanish and I speak Portuguese, but I get the impression their internet is bad. All the Hispanic and Brazilian streamers complain about their internet. So once like Brazil or Argentina, if like they get like really fast internet, maybe I'll move there. Cost of living's a lot less, so and if you're working online, you don't really need to. You can work anywhere, but if you don't have good internet, it's hard. I can't really, it's hard for me to move there. So, Brazil tem uma internet mediana. A little bit. Is that a little bit better? I don't. Yeah, I remember I've been to Brazil twice, and their internet was really bad. But I don't know if it's gotten better. Sniper. It's been some time. Yeah, half pipe. Yeah, it was kind of like but yeah. A little bit better. Okay. So maybe in like a few years it'll be high speed. So hopefully.
The only problem I had with Brazil when I went is just because it was a bit dangerous. And for a girl, it was very
Yeah.
I went there with I did a semester there with school, and I
Do you
don't
speak any Portuguese?
no,
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I do understand Spanish though, so it helped. But yeah, it was kind of I went there with my professor in university. I went to McGill University, and it for a summer, and we had to.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
No, we had to have like private drivers with like no bulletproof cars.
What were you in? What city were you in?
We did Rio, We did like we were in the big city, and
Hmm.
we also went to like Ubatuba, which is like a small beach city for like
Okay.
some weekends fun. But everywhere we would go, and like obviously we spend most time in Sao Paulo.
Okay.
But in both like big we spend like both time in the big cities, and like we had to be in the car like when we were like cross the street.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like they
Yeah,
would
we.
not let us like cross the street by ourselves.
Yeah, I've just played it risky. I don't know. I kind of is my professor did a similar thing where they brought like 6 students. He was a well-renowned economics Brazilian economist. But yeah, we just were going out and drinking and speaking bad Portuguese, and those we're taking lots of. I mean, my one guy got he someone I think a prostitute grabbed him and took his passport, and he realized his passport was gone, so he goes and grabs her and said like, give me my passport back, because it's if you lose your passport when you're traveling, you're screwed, so it's he didn't want to lose it. So but like that's the worst thing that happened to this, because getting your passport pickpocketed is a big deal, but for the most part, nothing bad has actually happened to us. But it only takes one bad thing to happen to you until you're in big trouble. So it's. But yeah, I did know I went back to Brazil on vacation 5 years later, and I was on like the main street, and they sell caipirinhas on the street, so I'm just drinking like caipirinhas and like talking to people, and I was with my hostel, but then it gets like 3 in the morning and everybody else goes home and I'm still like having a good time. And then I realized later, like, probably stick out like a sore thumb. I'm a tall white guy who speaks bad Portuguese and I'm drunk. This was probably a bad idea, like this was, but I don't know. I just haven't, I need to have something bad happen to me to put, the fear into me, but I just like, oh, I'll be fine, like I'll get a text. So nothing bad happened, but something bad could have happened. So yeah.
Well, I agree. Anyways, so Brazil is a wonderful place, and I really liked it, but I just felt like the level of safety was a bit different than when we're used to in North America. So
Yeah.
for me, it was kind of a culture clash,
Yeah, I gotcha.
especially being there for a long time. Like you kind of see like situation where people are get in danger, and you're like, they didn't do really
Hmm.
anything wrong, just like crossing the street, that's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah. I get freaked out in the cabs because they just run the red lights there, and you just always thought I was gonna get a car accident and die. And everyone's, I feel, such aggressive drivers there. That's what scared me. So yeah,
And
personally.
you cannot put your window down.
What do you put your window down?
Because
Do they tell?
people would get like, they can like get your things out when you're at a red light, so that's why they don't want to stop at red
Oh,
light.
put something in there. Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds, yeah.
So
Okay.
yes.
All right.
But yeah, we can talk about Brazil for a long time, but
But that's where I was, when if the internet was good there. So
amazing, amazing. And any other places you travel to that you would like to go back now that COVID is a bit better?
I don't know. It's, yeah, maybe. I probably just like to go back to Brazil again. I really like it there. So that's yeah.
Have you been
It's
to
good.
Europe?
Yeah, I feel like I don't like Europe as much as I like Latin America. The portion sizes are really small. Brazil, you get like $7, you get a big old steak and fries, and it's real, it's good. I remember I had this friend, and he's because he's like dissing fat America, and he's like, oh, in Europe, you get this, and it's a small thing, like, so no one's fat, like that's gonna sell to me, like I have to spend, because then I just have to spend more money, and the food's expensive too, so it's like, but the alcohol is super cheap in Europe. I do remember that, so it's like, it's ideal if you don't eat a lot and you drink a lot. That seems like Europe is a great place. So it's I do remember that. So yeah.
Maybe that's why I love it so much.
So yeah, it's that makes sense. But yeah, going. I liked. I went to Barcelona for a week. I did like it there quite a bit. But yeah.
Okay, good, good. And okay, so I think I had one more food question, and we got completely off guard with the Brazil discussion. Oh yes, okay. So when you order food, what do you order? Like if you Uber Eat tonight, what would you get?
Oh, well, the only thing I eat now, because I'm doing keto, is Chipotle. So I added beans back into my diet, but I get a salad with beans, chicken and steak, mild sour cream cheese, and sometimes guacamole. No corn. So yeah, that's all I eat when I eat out. I've gotten 3 burritos in the last month though at the 1 in the morning that are actual full burritos. But so I eat a lot of Mexican food. That's a moral. So then I eat the and I cook my own sausages. So
Of course.
cook
Of
my own.
course.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the flavors of the sausage you like?
Oh, I like the Italian sausage,
Italian?
hot, verbally over sweet. Yeah. So
Okay,
it's
not very much of like German with like cheddar or.
I'm Polish myself, but I don't like Polish sausages. I think they
Oh,
taste
no?
nasty. No. So you like Polish sausages?
Uh, okay. I don't want it to sound weird. I do
I
really
know,
like
I know.
sausage, and I like all sausages. I must say I like all of them.
I swear, I'm not trying. Yeah, I swear. Anyways, but yeah. So
Like hot dog, regular American sausage. I like. The Costco one are one of my favorites. The big one that are
Okay.
very flavorful.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I do like merguez a lot, which are small.
You like what?
Merguez, like the
Make
small
it.
merguez. Yeah, it's like smaller lamb one. They're really small, very spicy. I
Okay.
don't- it's called merguez.
I've never had one of those. Okay.
It's
Is that?
it's definitely European. I
Okay.
think it's Spain, but maybe it's French. Maybe it's from Basque, so like the border from Spain and France.
Okay. Okay.
Merguez, I'm a big fan.
I've never had one. If I see one, I'll have to get one. So.
But that's smaller ones.
Okay. Yeah.
So you need more than one. So you-
Exactly.
But it's really good in paella and things like that. Maybe
Yeah.
cauliflower rice paella. I do eat cauliflower rice too, so.
I think I've had cauliflower rice once. I think it was all right.
It's a very good supplement for like rice. If you want to like feel a bit like rice, I really like it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
To like change it up a bit.
Yeah. Right. I'm sick of my boring rice lifestyle. I'm switching to cauliflower. I'm interesting now, you know?
No, but you should definitely try it. It's really worth trying.
Okay.
Cauliflower rice.
Wait, and what was the sausage name? The
Merguez.
Merguez. How do you Merguez? Is that a French? Wait. That's what language is that? Merguez.
Merguez. It's
like
Mergez.
Oh, Z. Oh, yeah. Okay. The Z for Z.
Z is in
Yeah,
French,
okay.
sorry. Z is in there.
If you hear people in French say Z, it's like it's Z. You know, it's so much person. Z. Z is a boring word, and I tried to learn French when I was young. I lost motivation, but I did learn "Oui sont les toilettes," you know, and "Comment allez-vous?" or
Comment allez-vous? Oui.
"Comment allez-vous?" Or "Je m'appelle Luke," you know, or "Je m'appelle No Hands," you know. So that's kind of like it's like something, you know. If I need a project in 30 years, maybe I'll learn French, but I feel like it's too late now. I'm just too many, you know. If I booked a trip to France, then I would learn French because then I'd be motivated. You know, that's how I I got learned Portuguese because I was going on the trip, and then once you know you're there, then I'm motivated. But it's hard to motivate yourself for like a goal that's so like, oh, it'd be cool to learn French, but it'd also be cool to like speak 30 languages and be able to juggle, But life you can only choose so many things, So
Definitely, definitely, I agree with you. And French is quite hard to learn, to be honest.
yeah, it's like I hired a French tutor and I couldn't say half the words. It was just and I would say the word and she would say it and I'd be like, same thing, right? And she'd say, no, you're saying it wrong. And I'm like, no, I got it. And it was just like where Spanish is like everything is like you can read it and everything is pronounced how it sounds. So Spanish is way easier. And Portuguese is like Spanish but hard. But French is like, oh my God. Okay, do you think like, so I know I think in like Malcolm Gladwell book they say like Chinese languages they're actually better at learning numbers because of their language because all their numbers are like one syllable long. Do you think speaking French makes you better at anything? Sort of not necessarily just what do you think it gives you any special superpowers basically?
Alcohol tolerance.
Oh, that makes sense.
Lots of tolerance.
Okay.
I would say that superpower of eating lots and lots of cheese.
Okay. I have that superpower too, but less on the alcohol tolerance. So yeah.
But yeah, I think that I don't know that is probably one thing. I don't know. Wine for us is like get a glass of wine with your meal every night. It's like normal. Yeah. Not in the States. I know, guys. I know it's not normal in the States. But
Mom drinks a glass of wine every night, but then she tells me if she feels guilty about it. I don't really care. I'm like, oh, it's fine. She's like, oh, I have another glass of wine. Are you judging me? And I'm like, no, I don't care. Like, do life, It's like, who cares? But that's.
Are you judging me? It's okay. She can call me. I will compare. I will be okay with that. I will tell her it's fine.
It's optimal actually. So we judge the people who don't have a glass of wine every night. What are they doing with their lives? So.
Definitely. So tonight you have sex cult?
No sex cult tonight. It's sex cult last night. So it was,
last night. Okay, so it's Sunday.
Yeah, Monday. No, nobody wants to go to a sex cult on a Monday.
It's Sunday.
It's boring. Yeah, Sunday. So, and the Wednesday, Thursday, and then there's occasional Friday, Saturday things. But that's kind of
lots of stamina there.
Lots of stamina. Yeah. It's, yeah. So.
I hope they change it up every week.
There's different people at the sex cult every week, so that gets you the extra stamina, So.
I mean, that's a lot of time in 1 week, so.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I've told most a very small percentage of the sex cult is sex, because it's a lot of doing rituals, getting bloody weird tattoos or stuff like that.
Oh,
so.
I didn't know you had tattoos.
Oh, I don't. I'm not that rank yet. Like you gotta work your way up on the sex cult hierarchy. So, but yeah. So, yeah. Okay. You got tattoos?
No, I was just like, this could be a question in my interview, and I didn't know you had one.
Yeah, I don't. So no tattoos.
Okay.
I thought about. I was gonna get one when I was younger. I was wanting to get like a Ace 5 of Hearts, but then I just never did it. So.
Like a Hearthstone card.
Oh no, like a poker card. That's kind of what I wanted to do.
Yeah, no, I know, but would you consider a Hearthstone card?
I don't think so, because I know Dexter got like Shuma, the card that made all the 1/1s, and then that card turned out to not be good, and then he had that card on it tattooed, and it felt like it's a big step to get a card. Like, what happens if you get a card and then they nerf it? So you have Scabs at 7 mana, now it's at 8 mana. It's kind of weird. So maybe if something goes to wild, when you feel like it's not going to get nerfed. So, but then you have to choose bad cards. So that's the risk you run.
100%. So maybe you just put Trog in the meantime.
Trog, yeah, that's a good one. There's no way that card's getting nerfed, you know? Like, everybody loves that card. It's the perfect amount of power level. Not controversial at all. Yeah, that's a great one.
Or Guff.
Do you like that one? Guff. I mean, if like I said, if they nerf Guff, I think Hearthstone will die as a game. It's Guff is kind of keeping it together, so yeah, maybe that's it's kind of going all in to get the Guff tattoo because yeah, so
Because
that's
you
an
have
option.
you believe.
Yeah.
You have faith.
The devs will do the right thing and not ever nerf Guff. I believe in them. They're too good at their job. By off chance if a dev is listening, I say I'm so glad that you're smart enough to know that Guff should never be nerfed. All right, so yeah.
You guys hear
Exactly.
him.
Yeah.
You heard him. You guys heard him, guys.
Exactly.
All the devs in chat.
Yeah. It is what I know on my stream, like when I would say like, oh, the the other GMs would all lurk in my stream, they wouldn't actually chat much, and I'd be like, oh, I can't say much because the GMs are lurking in my stream, and then all of a sudden like 4 GMs would chat and be like, no GMs here, go ahead and tell your strategy, so it's yeah.
I can imagine, yes. It can give it a little bit of an edge.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us for the interview tonight. It was super fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. For a Monday night, right before our New Year.
Yeah.
So tonight is New Year's Eve, so I hope you're gonna celebrate or something. Are you gonna get drunk? Wasted?
No, I'll probably play the old cards on streams. Maybe I don't think I even have any wine. I was like, when you said wine, I was like, oh, do I have any wine? Because then we could drink wine together. But I don't think I have any wine in the apartment. I didn't want to drink a true like a hard seltzer. It's not the it's. I'd only do it if we could do the wine. So
I should have told you before.
Yeah. Oh well, it's not a big deal. But yeah, it's
yeah. I almost forgot. Okay, I almost forgot. One question is, do you like cheese?
Oh yeah, I like cheese a lot. Yeah, it's I have a bunch of cheese in my refrigerator, so it's why part of the reason I do the low carb when I do it, because you gotta do a diet you can live with. So, and I really like just munching on some cheese. So, but I do miss crackers. You can't have crackers. You can only have the straight cheese. So that's rough.
I can send you the list of keto crackers if you want.
It's okay. I almost like don't want to find the substitutes, because the part of it, yeah. But yeah, it's.
I understand. I understand.
Because sometimes when you're wanting a snack and then you can't find a snack you want, you say, fine, I'll just go to bed and be hungry, and then you're fine. So it's or you're not even hungry. Sometimes you just you're bored and you want to like chomp on some crackers, so yeah.
But yeah, some zucchini crackers can be with nuts.
Okay, yeah. Or not. I can't do the cucumber crackers if they have those.
No.
So.
There's no. It's too watery.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you're good on this. You're never gonna get a cucumber cracker or.
No cucumber.
I mean, everything exists in life, so maybe there's one out there. But I'm guessing.
After this, yeah, cucumber cracker.
It does need a lot of dehydrated cucumber to make one cracker.
Yeah.
It's mainly water. So. Okay, so I'm glad you like cheese. I almost forgot the most important question of this interview.
Thank God. I was like, I don't know. My chat's been trying. You got it out of me. My chat's been trying to figure out if I like cheese for years, and I just, I'm drinking this tea, and I just spilled the beans with the deep dark cheese secret. So,
What's your favorite cheese?
Oh, my favorite, probably cheddar. Cheddar. It's Or brie. I do like brie. I don't have brie like without crack. Like I wouldn't eat. I'm straight brie, but with crackers, it's really good.
Okay,
Yeah.
so brie on endive. I don't know what's endive in English, but it's actually good. It's a vegetable. Endive. Someone knows in chat what endive is in English? Was it chicory? Does that make sense? Chicory? Does that make sense? Do you know what chicory is?
Chicory. I don't know what chicory is. Yeah.
Okay, so I will send you the link.
Chicory. Oh, wait, is it chikorita? Wait, no, this is a Pokemon.
No, it looks like a really small lettuce, and it's like yellowish green, but it's very bitter.
Oh, chicory. Oh, wait, okay, wait, chicory is the. No, I think this is something else. Flowering plant on a dandelion. Chicory root.
I thought that. You need to type endive and you will see what I mean. Endive, like this. Oh, I just put it in chat. It's ENDYVES.
ENDYES. Wait, I typed in Wendy's.
No. VES.
Oh, okay.
So
say that again.
So it would be like endives. So E.
Okay.
N D I V E S.
DV. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen that before. So
you've never seen that. That's really good with brie. It feels the cracker need.
Okay.
That's how I feel about it. When I did for a little bit more than for 3 months, the low carb one.
Indeed. Okay. Yeah, I think. Yeah,
you should try it.
Different countries have different It's weird. Different countries sell things that America doesn't sell. I mean, America sells salty frozen dinners. That's kind of what we're known for. So it's yeah. It is what it is, you know. So.
Well, do you have a Whole Food next to your house?
I actually do have a Whole Foods next to my house.
There's definitely endives next in a Whole Food.
Okay, so I could go there. Yeah. Okay.
Try it out.
All right, yeah, well, yeah, endive, and I'll put some cheddar on it. So.
So you cut it, and the little leaves are like little boats, so it's like perfect size to like put your cheese in. It's like nature made crackers.
You could have a boat though, and be like, here it goes, you know.
Yes, like for a kid when you want to make him eat something.
For the kid, not yeah, exactly.
The boat. But you should try it.
Yeah, so.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. That was really nice.
Yeah.
Have fun tonight streaming, not sex call.
Thank you. Yeah, no sex call tonight, yeah.
And or knitting, one or the other. But
sex call, yeah.
I think tomorrow is gonna be a great day, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So
a lot of fun.
So yes. Thank you for being here tonight, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Bye.